Are you wanting to grill but it's raining outside? Or is your grill like mine and it sits on a very hot deck and you do not feel like going out there in the heat? If that is you and you still feel like grilling, I think the double burner grill pan from Pampered is probably just right for you. Today I'm gonna make a grilled Caesar salad in my grill pan. Another reason why it's good to do this in the grill pan instead of on the actual grill is because I would need multiple grill pans to make my shrimp and my salad, and I'm even gonna grill my lemons. That is where this can do all of it together as opposed to multiple dishes on the grill. And who doesn't love cleaning one dish only from a meal? That's me. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, this is my favorite shrimp. It's peeled, deveined, and tail off. That's the key right there. That's gonna save you so much time. Frozen, this is the large size. You can find these at Walmart or Sam's. I love this. I am so glad the tails are off. I don't have to spend the time doing it. I let it defrost in the fridge. That gets all of the ice and everything off of it if I have time. If I don't, I just run it under cold water and get it all defrosted. But the key here is to make sure, if you want a nice char and a nice sear on your shrimp, is to make sure they are dry. That's what I'm doing now, patting them completely dry with my paper towels, and I'm gonna get my burner heated up so that these get a nice char on them. Now that they're dry, we're gonna add seasoning. First, I'm gonna dredge them with some avocado oil. And here are my seasonings. Since we're doing a grilled Caesar salad, I wanna resemble the seasonings of the salad dressing. So this is black truffle and herb by Pampered Chef. Gonna give a nice generous amount of that. Also, Dijon mustard is in the dressing as well. So let's go ahead and do Dijon mustard on our shrimp. And then I have this new one. In fact, it's so new, I bet you I have to take the, I have to take the top off. This is my citrus seafood grill seasoning. Excited to use this. All right, let's get that on there. Do a nice shake. Add some oil to our grill pan. Let's add more seasoning. All right, let's get our heat on. I'm getting my heat pretty high. The other ingredient I definitely want to add is salt. Let's give that a quick stir. Right here, my pan's sizzling. Let's go ahead and get our shrimp on. The hottest part of our grill here and here where my burners are. So I'm gonna put half the shrimp on this side and half over here. And then I'm gonna cook everything else in the middle. I moved my lemons to the hot part of the grill because I wanted them to have more of a char. And then I just flipped my shrimp over to get the other side nice and grilled. They take about 6 to 7 minutes and it just depends on your heat. So just watch, it doesn't take long for the shrimp to cook up. And now I'm adding my romaine lettuce. I did wash and drain and pat dry my lettuce before adding to the grill pan. And I'm gonna put that in the middle so it doesn't take long. I just want it to get a little char and a little wilted. I'm moving some of my shrimp over to the other side to get a little bit more char, but they are done. And now I'm gonna remove them and put them to a plate, while my lemons, I'm also gonna take those off because they are nice and charred and done. And I'm just gonna get the rest of my lettuce on the grill pan, and once wilted, put to the plate with the shrimp as well. Plate it out. For this salad, I made my own homemade Caesar salad dressing. 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, teaspoon of garlic or 1 garlic clove, tablespoon of lemon juice, freshly squeezed, teaspoon of Dijon mustard, teaspoon of anchovy paste. If you don't like anchovies, you can certainly leave this out. However, a lot of Caesar salad dressings are made with anchovies, so give it a try. You might like it more than you think because it does not taste like fish. It is actually really delicious with a lot of flavor. Teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, a little more lemon juice. Add a splash of water just to thin it out because I want this to drizzle all over my salad. That is perfect. Now it's time to assemble my romaine lettuce with my shrimp on top. I'm going to squeeze my charred lemon all over the shrimp, give it a great citrus flavor, sprinkle of Parmesan cheese that's shredded, and now that drizzle of the homemade Caesar salad dressing. Oh yeah, gotta do it. This balsamic glaze is gonna add a nice sweetness. Of course, it's optional, but I like the color and the flavor it's gonna bring. This salad turned out amazing. You can certainly use bottled Caesar dressing, but I think the homemade dressing took this over the top, as well as the charred lemons. I recommend making this. It was so delicious. I have here just some regular pork chops with the bone in. These are center cut chops, and I'm just gonna grill them inside. So I just went ahead and put both of my burners on to medium-high heat. And I'm gonna open up this package and I'm gonna put these pork chops, I'm gonna season them. I have some Greek seasoning, and then my sauces are, I have one no sugar barbecue sauce, and then I have another one that is probably pure sugar. Smoked whiskey glaze we have left over. I thought those would be fantastic to glaze on those pork chops. Perfect. Fits my 4 pork chops in here perfectly. Now I'm gonna change out my tongs. I don't wanna scrape my pan here. So I'm just gonna sprinkle on my Cavenders. I turned the heat up on my pork chops here so they get a good sear. And in the meantime, I have this leftover Reuben dip that I'm going to go ahead and microwave, get it nice and soft and cheesy, melted. That'll be the base, and we'll lay our pork chop on top of our creamy dip. I'm going to add my seasonings to the other side of the pork chops. This is the Cavenders, and I'm going to make sure it's well coated. And then I'm going to add my sauce, 2 with that sugar-free barbecue sauce, and then 2 with the whiskey glaze. Now the whiskey glaze does have that sugar, so it could burn easily. So I do want to watch the heat. I'll lower it a little bit as I baste these pork chops in their sauce and then flip them over and add more sauce. I have a tendency to overcook pork because I'm always so worried about undercooking it. So I always need to make sure I take its temperature and make sure it's up to 145 and even a few degrees less, because then it will sit and rest to get up to the perfect temp. I served this on top of that warm Reuben dip. You could also use cauliflower mash. I was thinking low carb for my husband with the sugar-free. I got the one with the whiskey glaze. It turned out so delicious. Next up, I'm making chicken fajitas with all the toppings, including a lime crema. I start with coring and slicing 2 green bell peppers, as well as slicing up 2 white onions. The chicken for my chicken fajitas will be these chicken breast tenderloins, which I will slice so they are the same shape as our peppers and onions. And I will go ahead and grill them in our pan. First, starting with some avocado oil that I will spread all over the grill pan to make sure it's evenly coated with that oil. And I'll season my chicken with fajita seasonings. These are just some I got out of my cabinet. I just happened to have these and wanted to use them up, starting with this Chipotle by Pampered Chef. I also have some Tex-Mex seasoning by Pampered Chef as well. I'm also adding chili powder and some cumin, as well as some onion powder and some garlic powder. I'm adding my chicken now to the hot pan, and I'm going to season generously to the other side with the same seasonings. Tex-Mex, up our chipotle, cumin, onion powder, and some chili powder. And salt. These chicken tenders don't take long at all, just a few minutes on each side. The seasonings are really going to caramelize up and get a nice char, and they're going to add so much flavor. I just think the house is smelling so wonderful from all of these amazing spices. My chicken is looking great. It's cooking up perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and lower the heat on that side of the grill, and I'm going to add the peppers and onions to the hot part of the grill and get those nice and caramelized. I'm going to add additional seasonings to those to give them the same fajita flavoring. The one thing I love about this grill pan is how deep it is, so your mess is staying contained. Usually when you stir fry something, you end up getting some grease outside of the pan, but because this one is deep, I'm not seeing any of that splatter. Oh, it looks and smells amazing. Okay, we're now going to make our lime crema. I only have a little bit of sour cream left, but we always have yogurt, so I'm going to use yogurt. Greek yogurt. I freshly squeezed some limes. I'm going to add lime juice. And I'm going to add salt. And some tahine seasoning. Great consistency. I can drizzle that all over the fajitas. Delicious. My family absolutely loved this meal. We added some cubed avocado, a little bit of shredded cilantro. We also added some cheese. I didn't have any shredded cheese, so we just added little cubes of cheese that we cut up. They look like little pieces of mango, but that is actually cheddar cheese. And then that lime crema. Took it over the top. It was everybody's favorite. Instead of tortillas, my son used lettuce to make it as a wrap. I just piled mine on a plate and didn't miss the tortillas at all. It is so delicious, and it will be definitely on rotation. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.